Look, before you even realize it, you may be constantly giving away your own value through small, seemingly insignificant actions. You know, the kind that feel harmless. But here's the kicker. From this moment on, you won't be able to unsee it. Not in your own behavior, and certainly not in her reactions. We're breaking down the 9 cardinal mistakes that truly self-aware men deliberately never make. Once you internalize these principles, you won't just gain a deeper insight into female psychology. You will effortlessly maintain the upper hand in any dynamic. So turn off the notifications, lean in, and focus. Because if you absorb the wisdom in this entire video, you will permanently stop chasing anyone. Let's get started. 9. Critical blunders. Stop justifying every action. If you find yourself offering a rationale for every single move you make, why you delayed that text, why you made that decision, why you set that boundary, stop right now. Men who understand their own worth don't issue incessant justifications. They communicate their intentions clearly, but they don't feel the need to argue for their existence. When she inquires, "Why didn't you text back right away?" A high-caliber man doesn't panic. He doesn't launch into a novel of excuses. He says what needs to be said, calmly, or sometimes he just says nothing at all. Why? Because constantly explaining yourself absolutely smells like insecurity. It tells her you're desperately seeking approval, and once she detects that, you've willingly handed over the power dynamic. Real confidence doesn't beg to be understood. It lets your presence do the talking. If she respects you, she won't demand a play-by-play. If she doesn't, no amount of explaining will ever fix that. Remember this. Mystery creates attraction. Clarity creates trust. But over-explaining kills both. Say your truth once. Deliver it with conviction. Then move on. Never engage in pursuing. There is a massive distinction between strategic pursuing and desperate chasing. Pursuing is focused effort toward a clear objective. Chasing is frantic motion without any traction. The second you start bending over backwards to impress, texting too much, giving attention she hasn't earned, you're chasing, and she knows it. Women are wired to test. It's not malicious. It's just nature. They need to confirm. Do you stand your ground, or do you fold when they pull away? When she delays her reply, do you double text? When she says she's busy, do you beg for another time? Every single time you chase, you teach her to value you less. Competent men lead the dynamic. They pursue if the energy's mutual. But when it's not, they fall back effortlessly. Because they know if a woman genuinely wants you, she'll show up. If she doesn't, that silence is the unambiguous answer you need. Control the flow of intimacy. You meet, the connection is good, the chemistry is flowing. And suddenly, within a few days, you've exposed your entire history. Your childhood, your ex, your goals, your deepest fears. This might feel like intimacy, but it's actually dangerous. Why? Because mystery matters. Intelligent men recognize that connection is a graceful dance, not an abrupt floodlight exposure. You don't dump your entire emotional history hoping she'll admire it. You dispense fragments of your narrative strategically, slowly, with purpose. She must earn your story. When you overshare early, you risk turning emotional alignment into overwhelming emotional pressure. And pressure doesn't generate desire. It generates discomfort. Give her the space to wonder about you, to lean in. The slower you reveal your truth, the higher the value placed upon it. Never attempt to rescue her. She's moody. She's inconsistent. She's struggling with self-sabotage. And your first instinct? To save her. To fix her. to be the individual who finally brings stability to her life. Halt. Self-aware men don't play therapist. They offer support, but they abstain from providing instant solutions. Trying to repair a woman causes two major issues. First, it places you in a parental, caretaker role, which is an attraction killer. Second, you take on responsibility for problems that fundamentally aren't yours to resolve. A woman in chaos doesn't need a rescuer. She needs a man whose stability is so absolute that he cannot be pulled into her current storm. Show empathy, hold space, but resolutely stay inside your frame. She must pursue her own healing, with or without your involvement. Remember, applying Stoic clarity means recognizing precisely what is yours to manage and what is not. Prioritize your mission above her. This is a profound mistake. You connect, sparks fly. You start spending more time with her. And little by little, your gym sessions drop off. Your business goals slow down. Your social life shrinks. Suddenly, your entire universe revolves around her schedule. She didn't ask for that. But even if she enjoys the devotion, she inevitably loses respect for it. Intelligent men never substitute their life's purpose for the relationship. They don't mistake authentic connection for desperate codependence. Your mission is not negotiable. It is your vitality. If a woman redirects you away from your purpose, you have either chosen the wrong partner or abandoned your true path. Women are maximally attracted to men who are dedicated to a path, not those who anxiously monitor their phone for a text. Maintain your boundaries. Follow your life's work. She should augment your world, not become its sole gravitational center. Because the man who possesses a pursuit greater than her is the one she will chase. Refuse to contest for her attention. You are in a social setting. She's engaging playfully with another guy. Your ego flinches. Your instinct is to immediately overcompensate, louder jokes, bigger gestures, to win her focus back. Stop. Self-assured men never enter a competition for attention. The moment you do, you have already signaled defeat. You have tacitly admitted that you perceive yourself as inferior, that her attention is a coveted prize, and you must scramble to prove your merit. But here is the counterintuitive principle. Genuine worth does not seek validation. It simply commands presence. Let her engage with others. Let her drift a little. And while she drifts, you remain undisturbed. Don't be cold or aloof. Be profoundly centered. When you attempt to outshine a rival, you look exactly like every other insecure man. But when you remain grounded and stable, demonstrating unwavering connection to your own value, you distinguish yourself absolutely. The man who doesn't flinch when her attention wanders is the one who occupies her thoughts later. Build your happiness internally. Let's confront a difficult truth. If she is the entire reason for your contentment, she will eventually become the definitive reason for your failure. Too many men construct their emotional reality entirely around a partner. They designate her as their sole source of light, serenity, and purpose. The result? When she inevitably departs, their entire universe collapses. Stoic men build their joy from within. They refuse to rely on her texts, moods, or compliments for validation. They locate their peace in deliberate discipline. They discover joy in self-sufficiency. They find meaning in pursuing their mission. The paradox is clear. The more emotionally autonomous you become, the more powerfully she will be drawn to your stable center. Neediness repels desire. Wholeness attracts. A partner is meant to augment your existing happiness, not become its definition. Therefore, before investing your emotional well-being, ask the vital question, am I completely whole and sufficient without her? If the answer is negative, Prioritize fixing that internal foundation immediately. That is the origin of your true strength. Master your emotional response to tests. She creates distance. She tests boundaries by flirting subtly with others. She challenges your ambition. She makes a pointed, sarcastic remark about your masculinity. You become instantly agitated. You snap. You react defensively. Or most critically, you turn the aggression inward and question your own merit. You have failed the test, because that is precisely what these incidents are. Often subconscious assessments, but tests nonetheless. Women administer tests not out of malice, but because they require confirmation of your fundamental stability, strength, and groundedness. They need to know, can he handle my storms? Is he absolutely certain of his identity? Can he lead the relationship even when I provoke him? Stable men do not impulsively react. They observe. They breathe deeply. They respond only when necessity dictates, and always with profound control. When she attempts to trigger a reaction, smile, remain still, and acknowledge the attempt. The objective is not to win the test. It is to demonstrate that her emotional fluctuations cannot destabilize your mountain. Uphold your standards. Without apology. You expect fidelity. You desire feminine reciprocity. You value emotional peace over drama. These desires do not make you excessively controlling, they confirm you are a man of principle. However, society, and even certain partners, will attempt to shame you for holding these standards. They will label you insecure, or argue that real men accept women unconditionally. This is false. Men of integrity maintain their boundaries. You do not offer an apology for seeking a partner who genuinely elevates your life with value, energy, and serenity. You do not reduce your expectations simply because someone accuses you of fear. Intelligent men do not demand impossible perfection, but they demand fundamental alignment. If her behavior fails to meet your established standards, you calmly and clearly detach yourself without resentment. Your internal peace is a sacred, non-negotiable asset. There they are, the 9 critical blunders. Each one is a small crack in your foundation. But now you see it. Remember, neediness repels, wholeness attracts. Stoicism isn't about being cold, it's about the power of self-mastery. Apply these principles, and you will never have to chase again. Your value will speak for itself.